Hi, you guys. Teresa Rose here, known as Firehouse Medium. I had a great question that was asked. What is this? What's the difference between a spiritual connection between a husband and a wife? And I want to make sure I'm understanding that question correctly. Um, we're all spiritually connected. We're all connected energetically and spiritually. Um, so I'm not sure if she's asking the question in a sense of like when you meet somebody you just know like that's the person, like that's your person. um and that can very well happen, and that very well can be, and it's kind of going a little deep, because you could have a past life with them or many past lives with them. If you have that strong connection that when you walk in a room, you're like, oh my gosh, I just feel like I've known you forever. And we've all had those at some point. You ever walk in a room, you're like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've known you before. That's a spiritual connection. Again, we're all spiritually connected, but you may have very well had many lives with that person. And that's why it's just a soul recognition. You're like, oh my gosh, it's like coming home. It's recognizing that energy. It's like, ah, um, now, not everybody follows that. We have our egos and we kind of get in our own way. Um, you know, whether it's ego stuff, jealousy, fear. Um, I'm not ready for this. This isn't it. This can't be. It's too good to be true. That's not being authentic to yourself. That's not following your heart. When you let all that other stuff get in the way or ruin a relationship, because it very well can ruin a relationship. Um, and I also want to talk about too. I was at an event, and I was sitting with a gal, and her husband had passed, and her current partner. There's some ego there. Jealousy of her husband had passed, and she still loves her husband. Of course, she still loves her husband. That's her husband, and just because he's passed, it doesn't mean that you could turn a light switch off and that severs that love and that connection. It's just different. It's in a different way, and she's still here. She's still living, and her husband that passed wants her happy and wants her to move on. She's young, and I had told her, this is my own personal feeling, that if your partner doesn't support you in your grief and understand that your husband, doesn't mean you don't love your partner any less, then that's not your partner. But that's my own personal feeling. Um, but we're, again, at the end of the day, guys, we're all connected spiritually, as far as a husband and wife. And when we cross over, I don't understand it all, but what I do know is everything's unconditional and it's love on spirit's side. And there's none of, oh, she's mine or he's mine. There's this or that. Will you be reunited with your loved ones? You bet, yeah. But I think there's a bigger understanding and awareness that we're not even aware of. So I hope that answers that question, guys. I go live every Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, on my Teresa Rose Facebook page, as well as YouTube. And those readings are free. I would love to connect with you guys over there. You guys have a wonderful rest of your evening.